Hi, I'm Splashes, and welcome to Minecraft Maniacs 14. There's a couple things I want to do today, and behind us is our little villager hut, but we won't be dealing with them today because we have quite a bit of other stuff we have to do. One of the things I want to do is... I hate this farm. I already hate it. I don't like all these hoppers on top of here, so I'm going to go ahead and just drop that out here, and get rid of that real quick. Because we do now have a bunch of okay, there we go. And I have still several more bone blocks yet, so I can go ahead and, once I've used up all this stuff, just go ahead and refill it. So we'll just do this guy manually. And the other thing I want to change is, so we've just placed the block here, or as we're going here, we just placed the block here, and then we keep sliding, and we almost immediately hit this thing. So like this last half isn't able to grow up before we've already used this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these guys off. Oops. And close this down. I obviously don't want that block here, because otherwise it'll power the... Will it power the piston? I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, no it doesn't. Okay, cool. Just go ahead and plop that there, so that way we can do the back and forth. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, and now we should be able to run back and forth nice and easily. But we obviously need a way for this to push back. So, what we're going to do, we're just going to run another redstone line that hopefully won't start flashing excessively at me. Probably the best place to run this would be underneath, but I haven't exactly made underneath yet. So I think what I'm going to do is once I get this... So I'll get this working for now. And then what we'll do later is we'll go ahead and build the big arch that's going to connect between these two things on the words, please. On the underside. And we can go ahead and use that to connect it to this piston here. To run the thing. Of course, we'll just have to make sure that that redstone block doesn't accidentally power things. But what I want to see is, will this detector rail send a signal upwards? Because if so, that will probably make my life easier. It does not. Okay, that is disappointing. Okay, so let's see if this works. We've got the redstone line running underneath this now, so I'm hoping this will fire, push the thing out, and then once it gets to the other side, it will fire back. But I should probably actually get in this thing because it's only going to be working if I'm moving at a decent pace. Maybe I need a one-tick pulse under there. Yeah, I think I need a one-tick pulse under there. Because otherwise it's pulsing, but it's taking so long pulsing that it's not coming back. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some pistons. Okay, so we've gone ahead and put in our little one-tick pulse here. So with any luck, they should fire quickly and then fire back. and everything should be all good. And now this one we don't need to be going over fast because, oh goodness, I forgot how long it takes to build a speed like this. So, that fires? What? Oh, right. The detector rail is emitting the signal directly to the piston. Ugh. So I need to move the piston and the one-tick pulse. And the detector rail. I don't need to move the piston. Okay, this is going to take a bit longer. Okay, there we go. So, now how this system works, this very, very ugly system. When we pass over this, it just throws us back. And when we pass over here, it doesn't bounce us? What? Okay, so we redesigned this like 4 or 5 times, but basic idea here is this guy now powers a little flicky light thing. Redstone torch, that's what it's called. One of those will go ahead and power this block, which in turn power this thing. So this thing will always be sitting here, except when we run over it. It'll retract, and then a short while later, this thing will fire, and then once we get off of that thing, then it should fire again. So if it works, it should go like this. Oh, come on. That was if I'm pointing the right way. So it retracted. We can see it got pushed back. Why aren't you getting stuck out again? Okay, I don't understand. I do not understand. Why aren't you on? It's been more than an hour, but I think I finally have this thing working. I had to set up a little one-tick pulse down here, and then I have a switcher thingy on that side, so it connects over to that thing with that switcher. So the detector gets activated, powers out, pushes it back. Detector gets deactivated, detector gets reactivated, and it gets pushed back and forth. But with that, I believe that is finally a running system after an hour or more of work. Oh, good heavens, this took forever and was intensely frustrating. And it's still pretty ugly. It's still ugly. But well, at least now it's all covered up, I guess. I don't like that actually. Oh, cool, I already have the 2 slots here. Go ahead and put down a double chest here. Oh, right. 1.13 or something. Did that? Okay, shift click. There we go. Let's drop all this stuff down. Oh, and I suppose I can go ahead and put my blocks back on since I no longer need this thing running in order to test it. Okay, so now we go ahead and we just climb in, and it should fire. Oh, that was... that... what? Why did that undo that? It didn't undo it that time. Or that time. Or that time. Huh. Okay, well that was strange. But this thing seems to be working. Passes the blocks back and forth real quickly. And this should let us be a lot more efficient with our bone meal. Which is good, because this farm is just really awful right now over there. But with that now taking up a huge chunk of time that I wasn't expecting it to, you can... oh, shoot. Oh no. So I wound up making one more quick change over here, and that's just I removed this observer clock from over here to over here, and I made it so it has a proper off switch, so that way it's not causing a lot of lighting updates, and that should be later on the server. So if I run it, I just hit that button, and turns on the clock, turn it off, sticky piston pulls it back, turns the clock off. Nice little simple clock. But with that done, finally, we can finally go ahead and do what I originally planned to do at the start of this episode, and that is to build ourselves a little jungle tree, so that way... Oh, okay, we're not going quite as fast as I thought we were. So that way this little guy that I just missed, this little guy here isn't... Oh, what am I in? This little guy here isn't sticking out. We can go ahead and cover that up with leaves, and this looks like it needs to be filled in too. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick, and get this guy running. So, into quick little build mode. Well, of course it's raining now because we're in the jungle. So we've gone ahead and put in the tree, and it is quite a bit closer to things. We wound up going ahead and making it so it was a one-trunk tree instead of a four-trunk tree because of how short it actually is. Of course, once we go ahead and add in the ring, I'm not sure how much of... if that tree will actually even be needed anymore. And I am thinking of making so the base comes out slightly like an octagon, so it continues that pattern going up down into the ground some. So we'll see how that looks eventually. But for now, we can just go ahead and take a look at this little guy, and yeah, you can't see the thing at all. Unfortunately, it's not something you would really easily see beforehand, but it was annoying me, so I made sure to get rid of it. Okay, so welcome to the planning room, and you can tell this is the planning room because this is a room that I never planned to make. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this to plan. Basically write out all the things that I want to do. So, first big thing is I want to make a super smelter. That's sort of what everything that we're doing right now is working towards. So, super smelter. But in order to have a super smelter, we need an iron farm. But in order to have an iron farm... Oh, that... Huh, I didn't know you could put an item frame inside of an item frame. In order to have an iron farm, we need a villager breeder. And also in order to have an iron farm, we need a concrete mixer. Now, we already have the concrete mixer made, so we can go ahead and put a little check mark here. This is our very, very hideous check mark. And we have the villagers for the villager breeder, so we can just go ahead and add in another arrow there. So you have the villagers, but we also needed the little farm that we made. So call it an auto farm. I'm great at spelling. And now these two are done. You know, I made these check marks, but I hate them. I hate these so much. I have a lot of pink wool, so I made them pink. And blue dye was the first one I found, and they're just awful. They're just awful. Do I have any lava? I just want to get rid of these. Oh, I can light them on fire. Flint and steel. This is for the good of everyone. There we go. I feel better now. Oh, what? I thought that was supposed to burn them down. Okay, good. Now they're really gone. Okay, so we have the auto farm and we have the villagers. So we can make the villager breeder, and we have the concrete mixer. But obviously before we can make the concrete mixer, or before we can actually make the iron farm, because we're going to need a separate building for that, we have the concrete mixer. We're going to also need concrete, and a lot of it. But in order to do that, we need to go on and invade. This is just sort of how everything all builds up into being able to make this. And then other projects that I want to do eventually, I want to make a sheep farm. Finish our mob farm. And what else might I want to do? Oh, I should make a little auto chicken thing. That'll be really easy to make, but will mean that we'll actually have food besides relying on the fish farms, which we haven't really used in a while. But this is just sort of how everything all leads together. We have the auto farm, we have the villagers. We have the stuff that we can go ahead and make the villager breeders, but we still just need... Of course, I just used a bunch of wool. I could have used that to make beds. That was really stupid. How much wool do I still have left? Hopefully I still have a fair bit. Okay, I still have like another stack. So that's like 20 beds. That'll be enough to make our stuff. Just sleep real quick. But coming back down here. And there's a lot of other stuff, and like in this super smelter, we will have a 0 bamboo farm, and we'll have to go through and actually calculate how big we're actually going to need to make that to make the super smelter run. And we're going to need a separate super smelter, maybe, or maybe we can just stick it in the same one, but I think it's probably easier just to make a second super smelter. For the cobblestone. Or the cobblestone generator. What else do we need to do? I think that's most of the big stuff that I really want or need. And one of the nice things about the super smelter, it'll make it easy for us to get a lot of glass. And obviously in order to make all this concrete, so we need the end raid so we can get the concrete. But let's just make this a multiple thing. So end raid so we can get the shulker boxes, sand, and gravel. Because we haven't really gotten a lot done on the base up there in quite a long time. Let's see, we also want to make a sorting system, which we've started to make a little bit of. but having the iron farm will make making the sorting system possible. What else do we want? Oh, another wart farm. Even though I don't probably won't use that much nether wart, it'll still be nice to get rid of all that stuff. And eventually we'll make an ice farm, just so we can get lots of blue ice, so we can make all our paths nice. Oh, I'm out of science. But I think that's a pretty good set of goals for now. We have a nice path leading into the goal of having a super smelter. And we've already gotten quite a few of these things done. We already have these two things done, and we have this concrete mixer done. So now we just need to get all the concrete in order to mix. Actually, this concrete mixer should probably point towards the concrete. But with that, I think that's all we have time for. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.